This is the tissues lab, critical thinking, and I'm going to go over some images and some of the tissues and tell you how you should read the question and come to a logical choice amongst all the possible choices given. So here's the second one, and here is the third question, and let us go back to the first one, where it says, you would expect the tissue shown here to line. Now here the key word is to line. When you see this kind of a word, it means that it has to be epithelium, because epithelium is the only tissue which lines cavities, the inside of an organ or on the external surface, for example, skin. You will be given questions. Most of the questions will say identify the type of epithelium seen here, or identify the type of connective tissue or cartilage or something like that. But occasionally you may get questions where it just says tissue, and there you have to look for clues in the question. So coming to this one, now this is epithelium. And first, of course, you've got to identify the epithelium to then choose which one of these is the right answer. Now, whenever you're looking at epithelium, always identify the basement membrane first. And if you look at this thin line, here is the basement membrane. And this is an image which is taken from one of the sites you were asked to visit. So it's very important that you visit these sites frequently, because the only way you can make out or identify images is constant exposure to these images. So, this is, so therefore, please look at these images very, very often. So that's the basement membrane, and these are the cells. So if you look at these cells, you can see that they are as tall as they are broad. Hence, this is cuboidal epithelium. Some students often mistake this as stratified cuboidal. It is not stratified cuboidal because they think that this is the second layer of nuclei up here. But if you look, there is no basement membrane. There's space here. The basement membrane very clearly is this one here. You see this one. These are just cells which are nuclei of cells present in the connective tissue, as are these. So that's why this is cuboidal epithelium. And the correct answer is this, because blood vessels, the lining is endothelium, which is simple squamous. The ureter is transitional, which is a stratified epithelium. The esophagus is stratified squamous non-keratinized. You must always write the correct form. If it's keratinized, you'll write keratinized. Non-keratinized, you'll write that. And large ducts carry stratified. They have stratified cuboidal lining them. And just to show you, how these other epithelia differ from the one shown here, I'm going to the site from where that image was taken, and here this is showing you simple squamous epithelium, where you see this is the basement membrane, and here you're looking at the nuclei of squamous cells. So you can see that these are flattened, and in case of epithelium, you invariably always find an open space, which if it's the inside of the cavity, then we call it the lumen. So this is the lumen up here. Here also, look at this, an open space, so that's the lumen. Or if it is skin, for example, on the outside, again, you will see open space. So, one surface of the cell is always free, like, for example, over here. So you can see this is a simple squamous. This shows you columnar epithelium. And again, look how different it is from cuboidal. This is the basement membrane. And here the cells are taller than they are broader. So you can see a lot more cytoplasm above the nucleus. So, if you were asked a question on how to give two relevant features for identifying it as cuboidal, you would say that the cells are as tall as they are broad, and the nucleus is in the center and of the cell. So just to show you that this was the image that was taken. So you can see how the nucleus is in the center of the cell. And I just want to show you stratified squamous non-keratinized. So here, this is stratified squamous because the basement membrane begins here, and look at the layers of nuclei, and right up to the top you see nuclei, unlike stratified squamous keratinized where you'll see keratin. I want to show you stratified cuboidal. So here you're looking at this. So here is stratified cuboidal. So again, look at, this was the basement membrane here. Again, you can see a lumen right here in the center. And then here are the two layers of nuclei. And just to show you transitional, and here. So this is one example of transitional. Here's another one. So notice how this is again the basement membrane, lots of layers of nuclei, and then the top layer is not flattened, as you can see here. You can see clump cells. So, this is how you will see, identify the different epithelia.